Hi. So yesterday I did some readings. And typically when I say I do readings, it's mixed oracle, Lenormand cards, and some channeled messages. So one of the things I don't think I've ever really thought has been talked about a lot is what channeling actually is. So one of the people that I did a reading for yesterday, we actually did some mediumship where I connected to her son. Now, a lot of people believe channeling is mediumship. Now, yes and no. Mediumship is specifically for connecting to those loved ones that we have in this lifetime that have crossed over that we want to connect to. Channeling is a little bit different. Like mediumship is channeling, but it's kind of a specific niche. Channeling is different in that it can come from anywhere. So some people say they channel source energy or the universal energy or higher self or future self or whatever it is that you consider that kind of bigger than who I am here in this physical body, right? So it's tapping into almost like a library or an encyclopedia of knowledge that you can access, right? So I'm going to do some name dropping here, and depending on how far down the rabbit hole you've gone, you might know all of these names or none of these names. These are all different types of channelers. So very first one, probably most famous, is Edgar Cayce. And he was around in the 1930s, and he was a trance channeler and a medical intuitive. So what he would do when he was channeling is he would go into a deep trance, and then he would do his medical mediumship through there, where he would diagnose and see what the issue was and have his assistant write it all down. And when he came out of his trance, he didn't remember any of it. Like he was not present for the trance channeling. Like he just wasn't around. Like he kind of, maybe sometimes he might feel like he was near, but he went somewhere else. So that's kind of a trance channel. Then you have people like Esther Hicks, who channels Abraham, Daryl Anka, who channels Bashar, or Lee Harris, who channels the Z's. So Bashar and the Z's are channeled through, like, everybody's kind of pushed aside, and they come in and they take over the vocal cords, the mannerisms, all that kind of stuff. Usually Daryl Anka and Lee Harris have their eyes closed while they're delivering their messages. Whereas Esther Hicks, she has her eyes open and everything, and she's always said she's kind of somewhere over here. So she's off doing her own thing, but she's aware of what's going on. Same with Daryl Anka and Lee Harris. Like they hear the messages, but they're not the ones in control. They know that they can stop at any time if they want to, but it's just kind of, they've allowed that the use of their physical vessel to be used to give this message. All right. So what I do is I'm a conscious channel. So I still get all that information, all the data, all the, tap into whatever source it is, but I am here for it. I am aware of what's happening. I know, I get the information, and then I take it and I interpret it. So the reason why it's a little bit different to be channeling as opposed to being a medium is that mediums contact specific loved ones that have crossed over, whereas channels tap into anything and everything that is of a more positive outlook, something that is helpful, something that is beneficial, and it can come from anywhere, any source, anything. right? So that's kind of the distinction between the two. So can I do mediumship? Yes, I can connect with loved ones, but that's not my specialty. My specialty is doing channeling. So I think there is a little bit of confusion out there as to what channeling actually is and what mediumship actually is. So I kind of wanted to throw that out there a little bit. Some really, really well-known mediums would be John Holland, John Edward, or Colette Baron Reed. They're all people who have dedicated themselves to contacting people that have crossed over, right? Like I said, I can do it, but it's not something that I dedicate myself to do, right? So I don't know exactly where I was going with that, but I thought I would give you a bit of a rundown of what channeling actually is, so you can kind of better understand the differences between different types of channels and whether it is an actual medium or a channel, right? So yeah, so I don't know where, again, I don't know where I was going with that. I think I'm just babbling now. So I'm going to cut it off here. I did say 5 minutes, it's 6 minutes. Yeah, what are you going to do? I hope you guys have a great day, and we will see you later. Goodbye.